right, welcome back, everybody, for what's usually a member's first bit of content, which is my Wednesday watch list for New Comic Book Day, July 5th, 2023. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to record this over the weekend because I did a marathon of over 7 hours of live shows on Saturday and Sunday, and I just couldn't squeeze this in. So this got delayed until Monday morning. So this is my list for this upcoming New Comic Book Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see what books I'm keeping my eye on for this new upcoming week of books, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, so let's start the week off with our buzz books. These are the books that are starting to, creating a little bit of a stir there in the community as people are kind of talking about them like a little bit before this new Comic Book Wednesday. Some possible first appearances, etc. Things that get people's engines revving. The first book, which I thought was a little bit interesting, was Thor. So Thor's annual. This looks like just a normal like Thor cover, right? This is just standardized. And this is the image a lot of places had for the pre-order image. It's just Thor, but then are we getting a first appearance character in here? Because who is Mythos? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on my Thor. I know we are getting the Immortal Thor soon, so things are going to be changing. Could it be important? I don't know. But it's a book worth keeping an eye out for just in case, right? So I think it's kind of fun when they change the text there on the Mjolnir. So who knows where this might go. So just putting it out there as something I'm going to flip through and take a look at this week once I hit the shop. Now, the other book that I think is out there that people are looking forward to is this next book, Edge of the Venomverse, #4. Yes, another spider character crossover, multiple version universe. They did it for Spidey how many times now? Venom's had it done a couple of times now. We've got Gwen's, we've got Venom's, we've got Carnage. Yeah, I get it. It can be exhausting. But I guess the design of this little manga Venom is really driving people to get excited again because they just like the design. Granted, this is the cover A, and you can see her right there on the cover. So there is one option. So don't go overdoing it as people might have been doing for the 1 in 25, which, yes, pretty awesome cover. I dig it. But it's not the only thing. And she's in the book, apparently, and she's on another cover for the regular cover A. So don't go overdoing it for the 1 in 25. I know this caused a bit of a stir because this ended up on the Hot 10 list over on CBSI because this book's not even released yet. So how could this book be #1 last week when nobody even has a copy? That is a very good question. That is a good question. So we're not really going to answer it because that's not my list. But I will tell you, I'm looking forward to it this week to see what's going to happen because as of right now, and the reason why it ended up on the list last week is because of copies moving like this. 1 in 25 is already selling from $40, $60, $85, $100. Yeah, for 1 in 25. A lot of FOMO already being created. But considering nobody's got this book in hand yet, well, I shouldn't say nobody. The general public doesn't have access to this book just yet. Shops might have gotten their books early. They're in store. They're just not supposed to sell them yet. That's a different story. Asking prices again are right in that $75, $100 kind of range with some crazy highs out there. Look, somebody's asking almost $400 for one. I mean, go fishing. There's nothing wrong with that, but we'll see where this one shakes out once books actually hit stores this week and see if this can maintain that price. I don't know. Maybe I've seen a lot of crazier things maintain a price over the over the long haul just because people like the picture. And again, I like this picture. I like this design. I'd love to get it, but I am not paying 4 times ratio for this book just because it's some weird Venom variant first. That's not enough for me to spend that kind of money. Ratio? Sure, I'm down. Double? I don't know. Triple? No. Quadruple? Absolutely not. Just saying. But I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just giving you the list of books that I'm keeping an eye on to see what happens. Now, with that said, let's get on to the reading list. Now, these are books that I would like to keep up on and reading and looking forward to the story. Yes, they may have fantastic art as well, like this first book, which is Monstrous. So, Monstrous 45 is back. I am well behind on reading Monstrous, but I am still looking forward to catching up. I will get there. I will catch up. But right now, I'll admit it, I'm behind. But anytime we get a new release, this is one of the first things I want to make sure I absolutely am getting into my pile because I want these. Like I said, like the story, love the art. I'm not going to miss this one. So much like Saga, I make sure this is being pulled and I will have one for the week. Because again, I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm also looking forward to reading this week's X book. Yes, I'm buying in. I like X-Men. I'm going to see where we're going with this fall of X. So I'm going to keeping tabs as we're rolling through this. Now, this is the Sinister Four before the fall. So I guess we're kind of bridging that gap between the Sinister stuff, which it was just a little convoluted, a lot going on with all the time jumps, etc. So I didn't love that one. I kind of dig looks like the dude there in the middle, right? Doesn't that Sinister kind of look like, Jeffrey Lebowski? Anyway, that's what I see there. There's multiple covers on this. I think there's 3 covers. I don't think there's an incentive. I think it's just an A, B, and C situation. But I just want to read this. So regardless of which cover I get, I'm going to try to pick up this one to kind of get caught up and ready for the next X event. Because yes, they get me every time. They get me every time. It doesn't matter. I'm an X-Men fan, so I'm going to read all this nonsense. And sometimes it's good. Not always, but sometimes it's good. We'll see. All right. This week's not great section. It's going to be a little bit different. I think last week I said it was not great that they dumped 3 High Republic Star Wars books on us all at once. In the past, I've also criticized some Rob Liefeld art in this section. But this is kind of a catch-all for things that I'm just not a fan of this. Like, might not be a fan of the practice. And much like dumping 3 comic books all at once on people, I don't think this is a good move. Captain America 750, anniversary title. Absolutely. Like Cap. Like this cover. But do we really need red, white, and blue versions of this? It's the same cover. And they're $8 a piece. So a completionist has to spend $8 3 times. Just because they wanted them to do 3 color variants for, again, I get it, the holiday. Captain America, 4th of July lines up pretty nicely. This is ridiculous, though. Just saying. This was a $4 book. Even then, I'm not a fan of them doing this 3 color versions. It's the same cover. Who cares if it's red, white, or blue? This is like a card thing. Like if they this is the bag book and they like short printed one or the other. Okay, fine. Then and if you want to get into that, you can. Hopefully they don't go that route with comic books. I want to know what I'm buying. I don't want to be taking shots and having to buy multiples of books in the hopes of getting the cover that I want. I want to be able to spend my money and get the book that I expect to get for the money I am putting out for it. But that's just me. So I don't think this is great. But hey, up to you. You can be wrong. You can disagree. Let me know in the comment section if you do want to buy all 3 of these. AOA, I'm looking at you. Don't go buying all 3 of these. At least I wouldn't recommend it. But another thing. Get tired of these. Aren't you getting tired of these? The other covers? I mean, I've talked about it a couple times. We're getting 2 more. Extreme Venom verse 4. It's just another Venom, the other cover. And then we get it on Venom 22. All right. I mean, are you guys looking forward to the Virgin version of these we're going to get when we get the second prints for these books? Because you're getting a second print for that Edge of Venom verse or the Extreme Venom verse number 4 because of that manga Venom, but then she's not even going to be on the cover of the second print. Watch, it's going to be this Venom thing. It's going to be the incentive. Anyway, we're going to leave the 1 in 25 incentive second prints alone for this week because we don't got any to worry about, thankfully. But one more thing I think is not great. Free comic book day. Let's collect all the free comic book day stories into a book and then sell it to people. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. They were free stories. Why are you now selling them? Or now we're going to start having arguments over, well, the free comic book day, even though it came out first, that's not really the first because this is the one you had to buy. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not to mention, not only are they selling you Marvel Zero, which is just collecting those Marvel free comic book day stories or whatever inside, they're also doing incentives for it. So there's a 1 in 50 Virgin incentive. And then there's another, and I didn't pull the other one. There's another 1 in 50 Virgin incentive. Who's going to be ordering this many copies of this book? I don't know. But I'll admit, I like this cover. but do we need it? Probably not. No copies are pre-sold on this thing as of yet, but there's some pretty high asking prices out there. $150, $175 for this 1 in 50. So I'll be keeping an eye on it, but I will not be opening my wallet for this because I think this is ridiculous. But my gripes are done for this week. Let's get on to the homage section. So I know these are not for everybody. Some people get tired. I'm tired of a lot of them. I don't want to see any more ASM 300s. I don't want to see any more Spider-Man 1s. You can leave off the AF-15s for a while. Please give us something different. But the things I do kind of like this week are Star Wars doing the Return of the Jedi kind of throwbacks. It's not a one-for-one match, but the colorway and etc. for the 4 issues, because this is the 3rd one, so this is doing for Return of the Jedi issue 3. That's why it's got that kind of purpley blue kind of background. But they've already done the orange and the yellow, and I think we got a red or yellow's last. Doesn't matter. 4 covers they're doing as kind of like a callback to the original Return of the Jedi, because we're talking anniversaries here. I like it. These are kind of cool. So this is the Star Wars issue 36 I'm going to try to pull for my normal Star Wars pull list. Cover A is not bad, but I just kind of like this, and I don't feel the need to buy multiples. So hopefully I get this one. Otherwise, I'll just get the cover A as a backup. But it's still kind of a fun homage, if you ask me. Another one that's kind of fun is Torrent. Torrent over at Image has selected some interesting books to do homages for. And this is, I always find, more exciting when they're doing covers that haven't been done to death. Do we need an Uncanny X-Men 231 homage? Probably not. But I still kind of like it because they do the trade dress in a similar fashion. You got the corner box, etc. I kind of like those little extra attentions to detail. And while I'm not reading this series, let me know if I should be. I think these are kind of fun. And these always catch my eye. These homages, they always stop and I catch my eye. And I think about picking up this series, but I don't know if I should be picking up a series just because I like a weird homage here and there. I mean, they did Uncanny, 201 not that long ago, maybe the last issue, the first Baby Cable. It's just, kind of weird, fun stuff. Now, the next one, I don't love this edition, but I love the original. So, Night Terrors, the Joker, number 1, there's a 1 in 25 that's homaging Detective 880, as you could see. It's okay. It's kind of creepy. And that's kind of what they're going for with this Night Terrors thing. And we're going to get more into that in a second when we get to the covers, because I had to make a whole subsection for this week because Night Terrors is the beginning. And we're getting a lot of DC books related to that and some covers that kind of jump out for a very particular reason. This is okay. 1 in 20. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a 1 in 10. This is a 1 in 25. I'm not fixing that. You're just going to have to, believe me, it says it right there on the Night Terrors too. It's a 1 in 25, not a 1 in 10. I just made a mistake in making the deck. But this book, it's already pre-selling for a decent amount. 45, 35. Yeah, well, there was a $15 one, but still, it trended up above the 1 in 25 ratio mark. And the asking prices, while there's a $25 one out there, a couple of the other ones are more than $55 to $60. So we'll see where this shakes out. This is not the highest ratio incentive for this particular book, so that also could be in play as well. The cover, the homage, it's not as good as the original that it's doing, but I think it's still enough that it might draw some eyes. So it's something curious that I'm going to be watching as the week plays out. But I'm not ordering this I did not pre-order it. I'm not going to rush to go get it because, like I said, the original's so much better. But it's still kind of cool, still kind of interesting. I did it again. The next book is a 1 in 25, not a 1 in 10. I don't know why I didn't fix that. But this is the 1 in 25 for Night Terrors Black Adam. Pretty cool homage to Superman. What is that, 233? I know this is number 1 best-selling comic, but I think it's Superman 233, if then my number's right. But again, you guys remember the kryptonite chains. He's busting through. In the case of Black Adam, they replaced the kryptonite chains with a glowing green skeleton because it's Night Terrors. Fine. Still like it. Still think it's pretty cool. Color differences aside, 25, $15 to $25 seems to be the range it's sold for. So under ratio to ratio. Asking prices, there are only not many out there, but they're asking for a little bit more, 30 to 60. These are pre-sale asks. Doesn't mean they're going to get met. A lot of times, as you've seen throughout these last few weeks, I talk about things that I'm looking at on, coming up before, with pre-sales and say, hey, look at these asking prices. A lot of times they don't sell, and then I don't have them on my top 10 because, okay, There were a few pre-sales from May, etc., weeks ago, but then nothing the week of actually moves. So then I can't put them on my top 10 list. But that's just how I do things. I'm just watching this to see what happens. I kind of like this. I might be interested in that $15 kind of range, maybe 10 to 15, but not going to rush out to it because I'm still not a huge Black Adam guy. I just do like the homage here. I think it's pretty solid. And with a old school trade dress topped in the corner and etc. Kind of like that. Now, later printings. You also know I like to cover later printings, highlight the second prints, third prints, etc. This week we don't have a lot. In fact, we only got one. And we got a third print for World Tree #1. It's all right. They're just recoloring the cover that was too dark that they recalled, etc. So much brighter here, as you can see. Third printing is also in the text right there on the cover under issue 1. So hey, if you want a third print or you just want to go and read it, go ahead, go check it out. I mean, it's been okay. I'm not in love with this series yet, but to be fair, I haven't read issue 3 yet, which just came out last week. So I still got to catch up and read that. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. There's a third print if you want to go and catch up for yourself. Now, I mentioned this a little while ago in that I had to create a whole separate section. And I did. So these are creepy covers. Not exactly creepy from the magazine, just monstrous horror-themed covers because with DC's Night Terrors, there are a lot of disturbing-looking covers that are pretty cool. Not over-the-top disturbing, like we're talking about Crossed or something like that, but still things that just gotta look at and go, ooh, it's a little off-putting. Case in point, this one. Night Terrors Batman. Bat climbing out of this dude's mouth. It's just creepy. Kind of like it, though. I think it's pretty cool. Most of these, again, there's a cover price. I haven't seen any sort of rush towards any of these yet. We'll see how this shakes out, if people buy into this series or not, and if or any of these covers actually do anything. These are just the regular covers, not incentives. These are just like the regular variants, could be A's, B's, etc. But just cool art that just kind of caught my eye. A couple of Matinas in here. I think this one might have been a Matina. I got a weird Cyclops cyborg looking bat creature with the whole red. It's got giving me Krull vibes for some reason. A little bit of Castlevania. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But this isn't, again, another Batman for Batman Night Terrors. A lot of one-shots. A lot of one-shots coming out this week. There's like Batman, I think Poison Ivy, Black Adam, as you saw. Joker's got one. But I didn't cover all the covers here. I just did the ones where I thought the art was just kind of really caught my eye. So like this one. Look at that creature that's climbing on that head there. Eyeballs all around. The purple's bright. Kind of dig that. This is Night Terror's First Blood. I guess it's another one-shot mini. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if I can get all these, if I can buy in to all this, because there's just so much. So many. Can't keep up with everything. It's just the wallet will not permit me to do that for all of these series. Summertime, it always gets rough like that because it's event after event after event. You got Venom versus, you got Spider versus, you got Spider Boys, you got Night Terrors, you got Fall of X's. We got all kinds of things just getting thrown at us all at once. Can't buy everything. So they're creating too much competition for themselves. If you ask me, spread this stuff out. You don't have to do it over the summer. This ain't the movies. Like, these are comic books. Like, you can do this at any time of the year. That said, one more I think I got for you. This the Ravager one. Again, just creepy. It's got like a Vecna vibe, like when you see how her face is transitioning. So, yeah, pretty well done. And piling on to this, normally I separate all these incentives out, but as you can see, I've already given you a few incentives scattered throughout this deck because I'm going to put them where they fit now. I'm not going to save them all to the end. I'm going to just try to roll this out as it makes sense. And here's the Joker 1 in 50. Like I told you, that 880 homage wasn't the highest ratio. This is the 1 in 50. This is pretty cool. I don't know, it's all those little hands, those creepy hands. I don't know, I kind of dig it. It's kind of cool. So I'm probably still not going to be able to go and get this one. I don't know if I want to go pay ratio prices for this, but it does kind of catch the eye, right? And this is a Ryan Brown cover. So it's gorgeous. Gorgeous art. I kind of think it's pretty cool. But with that, let's look at how this thing is doing. There were pre-sales of right around 45 a couple of times, and then there was one big pre-sale for $115. That was June 7th. So again, that was almost a month ago. How does that play into today's market? We don't know yet. We'll see. But with the asking prices kind of all over. We got some 80s, got 100s. There's one up from 165, and then our friends over there, Comic Biz. If I say friends, I don't know them. I don't know the shop, but Comic Biz always has auctions going, as you've seen by these lists. And this one only got the one bid, the starting bid. It'll end on Friday, and see where they get what they get for it. I don't know. I don't know where this one's going to shake out. I feel like this one could be a little bit above ratio. I don't think I want to even pay ratio because, again, it's a lot of money. $50 for a book that just came out this week is a lot of money, at least to me. So I don't want to just go throw it on anything. I do like this. I wouldn't mind getting this for maybe like 30, but I doubt I'm going to be able to find it for that price. But that's, the kind of with shopping that I do. I understand. I know my limitations. I can't have everything, but I like to look and I like to window shop and I like to talk. So that's why I do shows like this, because I don't mind talking about the comics, even if I can't buy them, because my wallet won't allow it. That's all. So you guys let me know what you think. Let me know if you make that jump, if it's enough for you to go and pay these increased prices. Because again, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just showing you the stuff I'm looking at. But I'm curious to hear what you do with your money. So let me know. Now, I made this section specifically for the Night Terror books, but there were still a couple other titles that had some more violent or creepier covers. So I figured I'd just tack them on here because they still caught my eye. And one of those is Torrent. So this is the regular cover for Torrent. I think the regular cover A for number 5. And dude's just a bloody mess. Just the attention to detail, the texture of all this. I don't know, kind of caught my eye. Thought it was pretty cool. Once again, I'm not reading it, so I don't know if I should be. Let me know if I should be. And then another one that, again, caught my eye, maybe slightly for a different reason, but still kind of fits, is this Draculina. Yes, it is a sexy girl cover, and you got the whole, vampire thing going, but just that knife in the chest there and the whole bondage vibe with the chains, I'd still put it in the creepy cover because it's still, still a monster, technically. But with that all said, those were the creepy covers. Let's just get to the regular old covers that kind of caught my eye for this week, starting with one I was going to put in the homage section, but I can't place what this poster looks like to me. That text is very familiar, but I couldn't figure it out. If you know the movie poster that Peacemaker Tries Hard #3 is doing an homage of, please let me know in the comment section, because I was trying my damnedest scanning through things because that text is very, very familiar. The white with the black, I just couldn't place it. Just couldn't place it. But I still think this cover is pretty cool. I like the movie covers, especially when they make it kind of distressed, like you got the folds, like the old school movie posters. I think it's kind of cool. So this is the one I'm going to be getting. Plus, the series is kind of fun. If you like the show, at first I didn't know if it was going to work, but the first 2 issues have been solid. Has the same vibe as the Peacemaker show, and yeah, kind of interesting. All right, up next, I got another cover it's just bright. So it being bright just grabbed my eye. So I just think it's Ryan Gonzalez who did this, but it's Edge of Spider-Verse #4. I think Dream Spider's getting the headline in this mini last issue, I think, of this run. Colors are just very bright, so it caught my eye. I don't think I'm going to pick it up, but maybe. It'll depend what it looks like in hand. It did make me stop, and it did make me pause, so that's why I felt like it deserved a spot here in the covers, that, like I said, that I like, because I do kind of like it. I just don't know if I'm going to buy it. Just don't know yet. I'm just tired of all the spider characters. That's all. I just can't keep up with all of them, but cover's kind of cool. I do like these Mark Brooks corner boxes. This is the one that I put on my pull list for my X-Men books that I like to read. And I wanted this cover because I think it's cool. The corner boxes, Mark Brooks, fantastic. I think it's a great cover, so I wanted this one. We're still getting these Hellfire covers too. I don't know. We're still getting, I mean, they're scattered all over the place. There were a few I thought about it, but this Jen Partel kind of jumped out at me. This is for Captain Marvel Dark Tempest 1. Another book we'll get into a little bit later, but this is the Hellfire Gala variant. So that's why it's placed here. It's just kind of like a fashion look. That's kind of all you're getting out of the Hellfire ones. But like I said, good art, caught my eye. So that's why I put it here. Am I going to get this? I don't know yet. It's going to be another one of those cases of how much money am I spending this week? What do I got in my hand? And do I need this? So it'll be an impulse thing come Wednesday. But, oh, here's another one. Hellfire cover, Stephanie Hans for Spider-Man 10. I don't think this has anything to do with Spider-Man 10. I don't know if we're really getting much Spider-Boy. There's no Spider-Boy cover. Who knows if we're getting more Bailey Briggs or not. All I know is the Hans thing kind of caught my eye. It has a little bit of a die vibe. Remember the Image series with the D&D stuff? That's kind of what I'm feeling out of this cover, because well, Hans did that, but it still caught my eye, so I put it in this section as well. Much like this one, I thought about this, but I haven't been reading FF for a while. But this is a Simone Bianchi cover. Bianchi. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but pretty cool. Pretty cool thing. It really made me stop and pause. I thought about getting it just for the cover because it really reminds me of Delato's first Marvel work with that cover for the thing. I don't know, just the two. I thought it was Delato for a second. I was like, oh no, it's not. It's Bianchi, or whatever. It's still pretty cool. I kind of like it. And the new Fantastic Four trade dress is kind of growing on me. It almost has like a magazine look, but I don't know. It is kind of growing on me. We'll see. Curious about this title too. This Barnstormers series. Tula Lotay, Scott Snyder. Gorgeous cover. Like this art. This is just the cover A. It's still, I think, pretty good. So it caught my eye. There's another one of these in the incentive area we'll talk about in a second. I think there's also a foil version of this that you could pay another $1 or $2 if you want it to be shiny. Feel free. I mean, it's your wallet. Buy what you like. But let's go on over to the incentives. And I'm actually going to start with the incentive for this book, even though we're not going in order of, I think, numbers. Ratio numbers. But it's a Jenny Frison. Looks very much like Jennifer Connelly to me. You know who I'm talking about. You could see it. But that's not a bad thing. And that's not a bad thing at all. I think this is a gorgeous cover. Again, probably going to be tough to find because I don't know how many people are buying 25 copies of this series. This is Dark Horse. But keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Already people are paying for it. We've got some sales around 40 to 50 for this 1 in 25. Asking prices 55 to 75 right now. We'll see. Again, these are pre-sales and pre-sale asking prices. We won't know for certain what's going to happen until copies actually hit stores and hit shelves, because then we'll see if there's a flood. Is there really a demand? Will those prices hold, go up, go down? That's why I like to play this game. That's why I like to watch this stuff, because even your best guess isn't always right, because sometimes something like this seems like, all right, it's Dark Horse, probably going to be lower print, probably going to be harder to find. Jenny Frison, a lot of collectors there. Could get really expensive. Is it going to get like Sandman Nightmare Country expensive? Probably not, but it could. Is it just going to be like, well, it's just some other random, cover that she did for an incentive, so it's just ratio or less, because there's plenty out there. There's not that many people looking for it. I don't know which way this one's going to go. So that's why it's on my watch list, because I'm curious. I do not have one of these coming. I probably should have tried to get one, but I'm not paying over ratio for this. That's just me. I got a line. I know nothing about this title. I don't go throwing a lot of money at independent just for the stories and just for the cover, because there's no end game for that. Like if I wanted to cash out, there's not always a good means to do so. A lot of times they don't hold the interest that maybe a Marvel or a DC book does because of the characters. Anyway, we can get into the whole guts of that conversation another time. This is just me sitting here, so I'm not going to have a conversation with myself. But I'm just going to keep going to our next book. Caught my eye. I think it's another Bianchi cover. Bianchi. Edge of Spider-Verse. This is the 1 in 25. It does not have the Dream Spider on the cover, but it is a pretty cool Spider-Man 2099. The textured kind of vibe there, look to the suit. I think it's kind of cool. There's probably going to be plenty of these out there, so I don't expect this to go up. It is right around that ratio mark as far as sales go. See there, 20 to 25 bucks. Asking prices aren't higher. It's 20 to 25 bucks. So if you're interested, you can get it. I'd still be kind of cheap shopping for this because it's cool. It's not, I have to have it cool though. This is, well, if I stumbled into this, I kind of like it for 10 to 15 maybe. But that's, again, me and how I do my shopping. Now, we mentioned the Captain Marvel Dark Tempest #1 before with that Bartel Hellfire cover. We also have this 1 in 50 for it, which is this gorgeous Virgin by Derek Chu, who's just been killing it lately. Like Marvel 1 in 50s, Derek Chu's, they're just maybe, but the problem is I think maybe there's too many. There's too many good covers, and they're kind of cannibalizing themselves as far as what people will go and pay, because people can't keep buying 1 in 50s every week. It's just not sustainable. Like, I don't know, for most people. Maybe I know you guys might have a lot more of a disposable budget for comics than I do, but it's just not sustainable to be able to buy 1 in 50s week after week. But thankfully, they give us cover price versions as well. So there is a trade dress cover version of this. I will get that for like $4 or $5. I'm in for that. But the 1 in 50s, you gotta pick and choose, and that's what's making it tough, I think. So we'll see how this one goes. Again, we've had a few of these over the last few weeks. Right now, some pre-sales of 45 to 70, so hovering around that ratio and above. Asking prices 45 up to 100. So again, we'll see where it goes. I think this one's teetering on what's going to happen. I think what could help it is what actually happens in this comic. Don't know that yet. I don't have early access to read these books. Is there anything interesting going on with the story? Captain Marvel just ended, and now we're getting this one shot. Maybe it's giving us a new direction. I do like the idea of this throwback to the old school Ms. Marvel. We'll see. I don't know, but I want to keep track of where this one's going to go as far as pricing goes. Up next, I complained about that red, white, and blue multiple duplicates of Cap 750, of which there are other covers as well. My favorite, though, is probably the 1 in 50. This Granoff is awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's America's ass right there. That's the second thing I thought of. First, I was like, oh, that's a really cool cover. And then I got stuck and I was like, oh, damn it. But it still made me kind of giggle when I remembered that. But anyway, this 1 in 50, 750, 1 in 50 for issue 750. It's been doing all right already. Some $100 sales, some $85 sales. So above ratio already with some of these pre-sales. Asking prices, once again, we got $100 ones, we got $115 ones. There's 98 pre-sales looking for 200. And then we got Comic Biz with that one at auction. We'll see where it ends on Friday. Once again, with only one bid. It's out of the UK, though, so you got to pay that extra shipping if you're in the US to get that book to you. And it's also going to take some time. So those are decisions you have to make for yourself. I like this cover. I would probably go close to ratio because I like this one that much. But, and I also think this has like an $8 cover. It's a anniversary issue, so it's a little bit more expensive. So I'm thinking, well, the price differential is a little bit more palatable. I don't know. Anyway, still probably not going to get it because I'm probably not going to find it for that price. With that said, we've got 2 more Marvel books for you, I think. Higher ratio incentives. We're going up the ladder. 1 in 100. George Perez, I think, is a hidden gem cover that they call it. Hidden cover, whatever they kind of use older art again. Love the detail here. Love the sky, the cityscape. It's just pretty cool. 1 in 100. Pretty awesome. But you do have an option. And this is that Thor annual. Once again, going back to what that Mythos character is. If this Mythos is anything, maybe this does maintain some value after it. But it's also could be villain spec, and that doesn't always have the best track record. But there is a trade dress version of this one, so you can get that one if you don't want to pay 1 in 100 prices. I personally don't like paying 1 in 100 prices, so I will get the trade dress and be happy with that. No pre-sales yet for the 1 in 100. Asking prices are looking for a premium of 165 to like 190 right now. We'll see if they get that. We'll see where this goes. It is an annual, after all. I don't know. A lot of stores are going to be ordering 100 copies of the annual, but who knows? Something worth tracking, and that's why I do this. And our last book, she has her fans. She has her detractors. I'm in between on this one. Rose Besh, 1 in 200, Captain Marvel. This is for that Dark Tempest book. Virgin cover. I like it, but I don't know. I don't know if I love it. I like the colors. Something about the anime kind of manga vibe. I dig that. But I don't know if I love this one. Especially at 1 or 200 prices. I definitely can't pay that. But lucky for you, there is a trade dress version here. So just get this one. You don't want to pay those prices. Just get this one. I guess it's going to be a reverse, the white background here as opposed to the black background for the 1 in 50, 1 in 200. We'll see. We'll see. Pre-sale prices, none have been pre-sold for this 1 in 200, but there are some asks out there right in the range of the ratio, 220. So it's only a little bit above, and then a couple $300 ones. Fair enough. You got to definitely go fishing when you're talking about pre-sales because you don't know what the market's going to be, especially there's none been sold yet. So don't give in too quickly. That said, I don't know. 1 in 200 is, again, such a high incentive ratio. Don't know if there's going to be a lot of these out there. I don't know if there's a lot of store exclusives for this book. I haven't heard anything about them. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of copies of this. We will see. But even if there's not a lot of copies, rarity itself does not equate to value, at least to me. I don't think it should. It's a factor, but it shouldn't be the only factor. There's a lot of rare things that ain't worth nothing. You got to have the demand. That's the more important thing. So we'll see if there's a demand for this book. And what'll happen come Wednesday. And with that, that's all I got for you. It took a little bit getting through this list. Sorry it's running a little bit late for members, but everybody will get this afternoon. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you all. These are the things I'm looking ahead to, and we'll see if any of these maintain and make it to the top 10 list this Thursday. And with that, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right. And have a happy 4th of July if I don't talk to you before then. Okay.